Hello, you are most welcome. We are still looking at how to draw quadratic graphs and maybe how to use them to answer certain questions. So, in this particular lesson, we shall be looking at how to use the graphs to solve quadratic equations. To obtain the solution or the roots of the quadratic equation in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equaling to 0, graphically, we have to first of all draw the graph of the function y equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. And then, how do we obtain the values or the solution is? We shall read the values of x at the points where the graph cuts the x-axis. This is what I mean. If at all we want to use the graph to solve the quadratic equation, first of all, we shall sketch our graph, assuming this is my curve. Then, those points where the curve has cut the x-axis will give me the answers. This is x1, this is x2. Remember, when solving a quadratic equation, we have two roots. So this is how we shall use the graph to solve quadratic equations. We sketch the graph as we have been sketching in our previous examples. Then those points where the curve cuts the x-axis become our solutions or the roots of the equation. So let us look at this in the examples. Example 1, they are asking us to solve the quadratic equation x squared minus x minus 2 equals to 0 by graphical method. So we shall start by sketching the graph. After sketching the graph, we draw the curve, and those points at which the curve cuts the x-axis will be our solutions. So we shall still do the same as we've been doing. We start with getting the y values using the given equation. And now, in this particular example, we don't have the interval, so we shall use our own interval. But as we choose the interval to use, at least we should also consider the negative side and the positive side. So I've chosen my interval to be negative 3 to positive 3. And now I will use the given equation to get the values of y, whereby I will have x squared, where I will square the values of x, then minus x, that is negative times the values of x, which will give me that, and then we have negative 2. This negative 2 is a constant, so we maintain it everywhere. So what I need are values of x squared, values of negative x, and then I add them to my constant negative 2 to obtain the values of y. After obtaining the values of y, I will now have to get the points to plot. Remember, when getting the points to plot, we consider the y value and the x value and the y value. So this gives me negative 3, 10, negative 2, 4, negative 1, 0, 0, negative 2, 1, negative 2, 2, 0, and 3, 4. These are the points that we are going to plot on our graph. Then we determine the points where that curve will cut the x-axis will be our solutions to the question. Remember, the question is asking for solving the quadratic equation using graphical method. So this is our axis. We are plotting points starting with the We are starting with the negative 310. So negative 310 does include 10. So negative 310, that is our point, negative 310. Then we come to negative 24, negative 24, that is our point. We come to negative 10, negative 10 is there. We come to negative, we have plotted the negative 310, negative 24, negative 10, we come to 0, negative 2. So 0, negative 2, that is our point, 0, negative 2. Then we come to our other point, which is 1, negative 2. So this is 1, negative 2. We come to 2, 0. So that is our point 2, 0. We come to the last point, which is 3, 4. So 3, 4 is there. So now we shall join the plotted points with a smooth line to make a curve. That line should be continuous and should not have any sharp corners, even down. So that is our curve, and we must always name the curve. So this is y equals to x squared minus x minus 2. And now, where the curve cuts the x-axis are our answers, or the solution is the equation, and therefore we say from the graph our x values are negative 2 or 2. So x equals to negative 1 and also x equals to 2. These are the solutions from the graph. So that is how we use graphical method in solving quadratic equations. Otherwise, let us go to our second example. In our next example, we are supposed to draw the graph of y equals to 2x to 2 plus 2x minus x squared, and y equals to x minus 4. So we have two equations here. We have the equation of a curve, since x is a square, meaning that this is the equation of a curve. Then we have equation of a straight line, but we are plotting them on the same graph paper for a given range from negative 2 to positive 4. And we are going to use the graph to solve the equation 2 plus 2x minus 4 minus x squared equals to x minus 4. So let us see how we solve such an equation using graphical method. As usual, we shall obtain our y values and the points. Hope we are all well conversant with this process, whereby we are given the range of x values from negative 2 to positive 4. So those are our x values. Then we use the given equation to obtain values of y. Remember, we split this equation into 3 terms. We shall have the constant first, that is 2. We shall have 2x and then minus x squared. Then we manipulate or we simplify and get the values of y. The points are gotten by getting the x value and y value. So the first point is the -2, -6, then -1, -1. We have 0, 2. We have 1, 3, 2, 2, 3, -1, and 4, -6. Then remember we have two equations. We also have another equation which is y equals to 4 minus x. We shall draw another table and also obtain the points for that equation. Then we shall draw the two graphs on the same graph paper. Let us try it out. After obtaining our points to plot, let us draw the two graphs on the same graph paper. So we shall start with that of a curve, which is -2, -6. -2, -6 is down here. Then we have -1, -1. This is it. We shall have 0, 2. 0, 2 is here. We shall have 1, 3. 1, 3 is here. We shall have 2, 2. 2, 2 is here. We shall have 3, -1. 3, -1 is here. We shall have 4, -6. So 4, -6 is here. Then from there we shall join to form the curve. Remember we have 2, so we name this. This is y equals to 2 plus 2x minus x squared. Then we are remaining with that of the line. So the points to plot on the line are -2, 6. So this is 1, -2, 6. We have -1, -5. So -1, -5 is here. We have 0, -4. 0, -4 is there. We shall have 1, -3. 1, -3 is here. We shall have 2, -2. 2, -2 is here. We shall have 3, -1 is there. And lastly we have 4, 0. So 4, 0 is here. Then since it is a line, we expect them to be in a straight line, and we connect the already points. So this is our line x equals y equals to x minus 4. And now after sketching, we shall go back to our question. The question required us to use the graph to solve 2 plus 2x minus x squared equaling to 2x minus 4. So how do we use the graph to solve such a problem? We shall determine the points where the line cuts the curve, where the line intersects with the curve. So from the graph, our solution is to that question are the x values where the straight line is intersecting or cutting the curve. So it is -2 and 3. This is the x value. So -2 and 3. Those are our answers to such a question. Otherwise, we are still looking at more examples in our next video. So please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. Otherwise, bye-bye.